What's up, everyone? That's Steve. I'm Joel. We're Better Than Never podcast, and we're at episode 5. We made 5.
Can you believe we did 5 of these? We did a whole handiwork?
No. It's actually pretty shocking. I mean, considering that we were thinking about doing this for such a long time. Yeah,
now we're kind of like, I think we addressed this last time too. We're like really in the group of things. Mm-hmm. It feels good. It feels right.
Yeah.
So, starting out though, we kind of went into this kind of blindly, kind of on our own. So, I want to segue to my first topic. Is just advice. I wish we got some advice starting this because we pretty much figuring all this out on our own. Like I had to teach myself how to use a certain video program, and then because the one I was using originally, halfway through editing the first video, I just dropped it and taught myself how to do another one. So we were just starting off on our own, kind of figuring all this out as it goes. But there's certain certain pieces of advice that I've kind of heard over the years that have really stuck with me. Okay. And one of them, again, I can rattle out just a few things, little tidbits here and there. And there's a few phrases that we've also kind of lived by. Me and you specifically have together that we say to each other all the time. But there's one that always sticks out to me, and I think it's definitely relevant now because during this whole process of making the podcast and stuff like that, there's definitely moments where I'm just this is tough. The numbers aren't where we want them to be, but it's still slow progress.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
The grind.
So there was one moment when I was working in the Cranford pool, and it's a pool. It's busy, especially obviously in the summer. It was floods of people. No pun intended. And there's also when it's raining out, when it's shitty out, the weather's bad. It's very slow. So we love those days because it's very slow. It's low key. Sometimes there's nobody in the pool at all. And so every now and then we were just hoping for it to rain. Okay. So we were those kind of people. We're just hope a nice easy day. Hopefully it starts raining or whatever. People leave. And so this old man comes up. He's just signs in, checks in, whatever he does. And he's how's it going? I'm just keep an eye out for the weather, blah, blah, blah. And then he looks up. He goes, well, it's always going to look like it rains if you're only looking at the clouds. And I was oh, fuck me. So that kind of stuck with me too. The whole thing where it's just it's always going to look like rain if you only look at the clouds.
Yeah, because it's glass half empty kind of thing.
Yeah, where it's you're always going to look at the negative instead of the positive, or you're hoping for the negative at that point because you're looking for it. And it's that stuck with me for years, going on 10 years or more now. And I think about it all the time. And this guy said it in such earnest, nonchalant, casual manner where I'm just this man just spit some fucking knowledge at me.
Spitting bars.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just whoa. Very impressionable, 20-year-old, 21-year-old. I'm just that stuck with me forever. Mm-hmm. And it's still something I say to myself all the time. Every time I'm thinking of a bad day, I'm just day wasn't so bad. But of course it's going to seem bad when I'm only looking at the negatives.
Yeah, absolutely. And thinking of negatives, I guess it's kind of transitions to something that I say a lot because I got it from my aunt, who's rest in peace. She's not with us no longer, but she said it to me as a child. Says to all my nephews and nieces, all my cousins. Yeah. And I said it so much that now we both say it. And it's when in doubt, don't.
I say this constantly. Constantly.
And sometimes it's a good saying to have in your ear. Yeah. Because, if you're going to do something that you feel you really shouldn't be doing, when in doubt, don't do it.
If you have that kind of gut reaction, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah. It's something that kind of hits you in the stomach.
Yeah.
But there's also times where it's it's not a great thing to have in your ear. Because if I doubted us making this podcast at the beginning. Yeah. If when in doubt, if I didn't, we wouldn't be here now in episode 5. Yeah. So I think it's something I say very often for a lot of snapshot decisions. We were just maybe I shouldn't do that. This is also why I'm afraid of heights. But
probably good reason, yeah.
Yeah. But it's something I say very, very frequently, and God rest your soul. So she definitely a part of that in all of me and my cousins.
Oh no, absolutely, yeah. That's we started saying that together probably years ago. You started saying it, and we kind of say it to each other. But I also say even small stuff. Where I'm just I'm at a store, I'm about to buy something. I'm just do I need this? Do I need this? Like, if I have my doubts like about getting this or whatever, again, it's small picture stuff, but it does apply to everything. You know, it applies to big life decisions. Like having second thoughts, don't. When in doubt, don't. On the other side, though, there's another phrase that we also say to each other, which is basically the opposite. Mm-hmm. Anything worth doing is worth overdoing.
Absolutely.
And I think that also kind of is relevant to the show. Mm-hmm. So just like, if we're going to do this, let's just overdo it. We're recording a lot. We're recording back to back. Like, the way we're putting these aside to record hours and hours of this footage. So like, anything worth doing is worth overdoing. If you're going to do it, go all out. Go over the top. Make it extravagant. Make everything you want it to be. Like, if you're going to put an effort to even do anything, go ham.
Yeah, and it's crazy because those two sayings, even though they're polar opposites, they work together.
They do.
So when in doubt, don't.
Yeah.
But if you don't have doubt, anything worth doing is worth overdoing.
Yeah. Don't half-ass it.
Yeah. So if you're gonna do something, full steam ahead, right to the wall.
Yes.
Like, you can't slow down. Like, even with this, like, all right, like, we, obviously, it's episode 5. We're not world beaters. We're not, breaking the mold or anything. We're another civic friends with a podcast, right? But, like, because we are putting full steam ahead, like, we feel so good about it.
Yeah.
It's finally, like, now we're making content regularly. Like, I remember the first episode where it was very awkward. We were just talking and we ended up losing light in the day and we talking with each other. You know what I mean? But now, look at this. We're doing this, I wouldn't say super easily, but it's definitely a lot easier than it was. And, in 5 more episodes, it's going to be, like, even easier than that. No, 20, 50, 60.
No, going forward, we'll get easier. And, like, we're going to, throw more into it, We're going to put a little more effort in every time. Like, I go to edit a video, I'm like, all right, let me give a little more something. Because the same thing, it's just, if you're going to do it, just overdo it.
It's the same thing with the TikToks. Like, I go and I learn a little something more every day.
Absolutely, yeah.
And a little more visual aid, a little more something to try to, like, help the process.
Yeah. Going off that too, another piece of advice I always liked. Also, everything I'm saying is relevant to this. This is a big deal for us. Nothing worth having comes easy.
Absolutely.
Where, like, anything that you have to work for is because it's worthwhile. Mm-hmm. Where, like, you can't expect success overnight. Like, anything that is worth your time, anything worth having, does not come easy. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't. And, like, this is something that we've been wanting to build, and we've been talking about for years, and we're finally here. And it takes time and effort, and, like, it is something that I say to myself constantly. Where, like, anything worth having, anything I have, like, I think back to, like, sometimes I work like a fucking dog some days. I'm working long days, I'm getting called in the middle of the night, whatever have you. And then I come home and I'm just like, I'm getting in my nice big comfy bed.
Yeah.
I'm going to go relax with my fucking PlayStation on my giant TV. You know what I mean? So, like, there are things I'm just like, there's little reminders about why I work so hard. Like, there's 2, like, brand new lease cars in the driveway. Like, there's a reason, like, we have these things is because, like, we work so hard.
Yeah.
So it's a little reminder, just like, you work your ass off, but look at everything you have. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, nothing worth having, anything worth having, nothing worth having comes easy. You have to work for everything.
Yeah, something that's very similar to that I've heard, that I actually heard from Kevin. I think Kevin Hart was doing a special. I think it was on Netflix.
Yeah.
And he was talking to his team, and they went to go put their hand in a circle, and he said, like, a phrase, and the phrase was, "Everyone wants to be famous, but no one wants to put the work in."
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's very true. I mean, obviously not everyone wants to be famous, but let's say everyone wants something.
Yeah.
But if you're not willing to put the work in, then you're not really willing to have it.
No, it's like how much are you willing to put in?
How much skin in the game are you willing to put in?
It is frustrating though, because you do see some people get success overnight because of some, like, one viral moment.
Well, even then, you see people that have success just because of who their parents are. I mean,
nepo babies, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that's not just in the sense of social media, it's in sense of, like, a lot of things, right? Like, people, like, they're driving Ferraris that never worked a day in their life.
Oh, yeah. The parents are rich.
But it is what it is, right? Like, I'll appreciate what I have while I have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And another phrase I heard that I use very frequently to sometimes kind of woo-saw myself at times. Because sometimes I get really hard on myself.
Yeah.
Like, almost too hard. Like, I'm the nastiest person when it comes to myself. It's, and I don't remember exactly the phrase goes, but it kind of goes like, you can bash yourself so much, but someone is looking at you and they want to be where you are.
Yeah. Yep. I've heard different variations of that.
Yeah. Yep. I know it's a more succinct way of saying it.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
But basically, like, and it's very prevalent in the gym, especially when it comes to like working out a lot and becoming very body dysmorphic.
Yeah.
Like you're someone's goal at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like you said previously, having a PS5, big TV, cars leased in the driveway, nice bed. You know, that's someone's goal. Oh, yeah. Someone wants to be where you are. Someone wants to be, you know, where we are right now. To have a long-term friendship like this.
Yeah.
Some people would kill for that.
Yeah.
You know, in the gym, like I was saying previously, like, you know, I think I can always lose a couple more pounds and I can look more shredded and lean. I look at someone like Chris Bumstead, who's like 6-time Mr. World Olympia. Like,
that guy, yeah.
A 6-time Mr. Olympia. So he's amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, I wish I could be that. But there's someone behind me that's in the gym that's looking at me going, man, if I could just be that guy.
That's you are their goal. You are their like inspiration, whether you know it or not.
Yeah, and it's honestly like it's sometimes very nice to say that to yourself because it's just like I said, I get so hard on myself.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, I think I could be doing so much more and so much more, and sometimes you know you're giving everything you have. And you don't realize it. You don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
What's happening?
I get that a lot too. My wife tells me that. I'm way too hard on myself. Like I got to give myself more credit and blah blah blah. And it's hard. It's hard to kind of look at yourself and like really be kind of happy with where you are or what you have. You know,
it's a fine line.
Yeah, it's like my wife tells me this all the time. She's just like, oh, like you're too hard on yourself. You got to give yourself more credit. Like you worked for this. Like you built up for this. Blah blah blah. Give yourself time. And I just. It's hard. It's hard being like kind of looking at yourself and just being like content with everything.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm definitely one of those people where I'm just like, I always want more. Mm-hmm. I always want to fill some kind of like whatever hole in my heart I might have at that moment, whether it's like something physical or whatever. Like I'm always with people. I just gotta have it. I want more. Like I'm never like kind of content. I'm never like. I just want more. I'm just eager for the next level, you know, for whatever's next. Like I'm always pushing towards it.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm in the same breath where sometimes I feel like if I stay still for too long, I'm going to become stagnant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when it comes to like physical stuff, like in terms of the gym, like if you stop working out, your body's not going to gain the same muscle. You're going to lose it. If you stop running, you're not going to be able to run as well. Yeah. If you stop learning, you slowly become dumber and you slowly start like think about people who like learn languages, right? Like I can learn Japanese tomorrow, Chinese, whatever. If I learn it today, if I don't speak it for a month, guess what? Who's not going to learn Japanese, Chinese?
You actually lose it.
It atrophies. Like that's how I feel about everything sometimes.
You need practice, too.
But sometimes it's okay to just and I think sometimes we don't do that enough.
No, absolutely not. No, we're way too hard on ourselves. But I think it also becomes
I think most people are.
It just comes with the territory of being this age, I guess. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of pressure and stuff like
in the middle ground.
Yeah, like it's hard kind of satisfying your own needs but also the pressures of everybody else, you know what I mean? And going off like you said, like about educating yourself like that. It was another phrase that I also really liked. And one that doesn't apply to me because I'm kind of dumb. But
is that dumb?
There's no such thing as overeducated or overdressed. That's what stuck with me. And like I
live by the second one.
Yeah, the second one I think relates to us a little bit more. Educated, I can probably learn a bit more, but no such thing as overdressed, and I love that because it's true. Like you're never gonna feel overdressed like when you look your best.
Yeah,
you know, like you could go into like a party and like you're just the best looking person there. So be it. Like no one's gonna give you shit for like wearing a suit to anything. You know what I mean? Because it's just like there is no such thing as overdressed. It is a
it's an expression of yourself.
Exactly, yes. It is a visual expression of yourself where it's just like, I'm going to put a little bit of effort into this. And there are times where like I've definitely gone out and I feel overdressed.
Yeah.
And like, no offense to like some people, I see like people like going out in like pajamas and stuff like that. I'm like, that irks me to no end. And I was never that person. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was like before I really gave a shit in my younger years, like maybe like early teens, like fucking, I don't know, 12, 13. Yeah. But even then, I feel like I started putting an effort, like, again, around the same time frame, like right before high school or whatever, I'm just like, no, I need to stand out a little bit. Like, I need to kind of work on this a little bit. I need to go out and present myself better. Yeah. You know? Because I think I probably was that person. I used to go out in fucking pajamas, whatever. But I was also a kid. But I see grown ass adults do it now. I'm just like, you're walking Target in like Cookie Monster pajamas.
Bro, I can't do it.
And like, I hate that. I don't even like being like undressed in my own home.
No.
Like if I'm home and it's just me and my wife or whatever, I'm completely dressed. Nothing wrong. I'm not sitting around in jeans and whatever, but like I'll put on a pair of like basketball shorts, like a t-shirt.
I can just like that right now.
Yeah. And like I'm always dressed. I think I get a lot of that from my dad too. My dad does it to like some crazy extent though, where like he'll wake up like a Sunday morning and he's like in jeans and t-shirt sitting on the couch watching TV.
I can't do that.
So I guess he's a little too much. Like I think I found a nice little middle ground. But I think that was a big part of it too, because my dad was never like that. My dad was always like dressed like maybe not the best fashion sense, but he also grew up in the 80s, so like whatever. But he's still like, that also kind of inspired me too, where like he's just hanging out and he's completely dressed, ready to go anywhere. And I always liked that. So I think that kind of stuck with me. Even now, like I used to do that too, like with my wife, like early on, like especially when I was home alone. When I lived alone for like that year and a half, I was in my underwear all the time. I'm just like whatever. But then as time went on, like this is also like my mid-20s, but like as time went on, I'm just like, no, I feel more productive when I'm dressed.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's just basketball like shorts and t-shirt, at least I'm dressed. I can still go out and get the mail, take the trash out. You know what I mean? Where like if I'm sitting in my underwear, like I feel so like vulnerable and like naked. But like if I'm actually like put clothes on in the morning, it helps me kind of kickstart my day and really like be prepared for anything.
Yeah.
You know. And going back like the whole like overdressed thing, like I always make it a point to like really look in a formal setting. I always make it a point to like best as I can, like in a suit or something. Because just like how often are you gonna be in that opportunity to like kind of like wear a suit and stuff like that? And, like there was, we were in like in the middle of wedding season, and I'll make sure like I had a nice new suit for like every fucking wedding, because I want to look my absolute best for everybody. Like I want to make an impression. Like going on like wedding after wedding, like it didn't matter to me. I'm like, I'm getting a new tie, I'm getting a new suit, new combination, whether wearing fucking brown shoes, black shoes, like I always try to look my best as much as possible. Especially like now, like after my like transformation, like after losing over 100 pounds, like it was almost like I always made a joke about it. It's like I had one wedding in like November last year. Yeah, last year, and that was my first like kind of like big outing after I lost like a lot of weight. And I kept jokingly telling my wife, like, this is my coming out party. This is
not a wedding anymore.
Yeah, this is all about me now. Like an asshole. But I'm just like, I'm going to show up and show out. Like I'm gonna look my best I possibly can. I took like a little extravagant, like my rings and my whatever, like, but I'm gonna look as best as I possibly can.
Absolutely. I mean, funny enough that you say like your dad. My dad was the same way.
Yeah.
Where my dad would tell me like, because obviously like I'm an Hispanic male. I
was hoping you would bring this up because what your dad tells you, I still think about constantly. Yeah. It still like clicks in my brain where I'm just like, that's an incredible piece of advice. Go on.
Yeah. So I'm a Hispanic male. You know, I have tattoos, all this stuff. He's like, they're gonna judge you before they see you, so you don't give them another reason. Yeah. Yeah. And that's why every time I go anywhere, it's very rare I dress in a manner where I feel like I can be judged negatively. Okay. I will always dress up to the best of my ability. And sometimes to some people it's too much. Some people see me, they're like, why are you dressed like that? No such thing. Why are you like we're all in jeans or sweatpants or whatever, and I'm in like a knitted button down. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm something different. And it's because like in my brain it's like, if you're gonna judge me but what you see when you first see me, it's gonna be, wow, that guy's like, he really tried hard to dress today. Like put his effort. As much as you want to spin that negatively, you know I tried my best to look the best for this occasion. Tried more than 90% of people, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And I live by that. Yeah. I literally, no matter where I go, like funny enough, I have a class for work tomorrow that I have to go in. I'm going to see what people I don't know, but people I do know. Yeah. And guess what? I'm going to be dressed to the nines because I'm going to see an instructor I've never met before. And when they first see me, I want them to be like, oh, wow, that kid looks like he really put an effort in today. He wants to be here. Well, that's the reason why people like wear suits for job interviews, no matter what the job is. Yeah. Do you want to make a good impression? Like, no, it doesn't matter if you apply to fucking flipping burgers, you still want to make a good impression. Like people like wear suits and stuff like that. And I'm a big fan of like donating stuff too. Yeah. So like I always try to like donate my formal clothing because I'm like, somebody could wear this suit to a job interview. Absolutely. And like that's important. Like first impressions like that are very important. That decision right there could literally help someone's entire life.
Exactly. So I like to think that I'm making some kind of difference by doing this. You know, like me and my wife, we always donate stuff constantly, and same thing. Like you don't know who might actually need this. Not just like, oh, they want this, they want it, whatever. Like no. People are like looking at looking for donations for formal clothing to better themselves, get a job, whatever it is. Like you just don't know. Like I'm trying to give anybody the opportunity. Just fucking whoever needs it, please take it. Like I'm never going to deny anybody that kind of opportunity. Never.
Absolutely.
Like I'll never like it was a big thing too. Is I remember I won't get into details, but there was a moment where like somebody was going to have to live with us for a bit for work. Mm-hmm. And they remember them asking me or whatever, me and my wife, and I'm just like, absolutely. Like, I'm never going to deny anybody the chance to make money or open themselves up to an opportunity. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I would never do that because, like, if this is like, it could be life changing, like you said. Like, granted, like it didn't work out that way. Like, they ended up not going to that position. But like, if that's what it takes, like, fucking yes, please. Like, let me help any way I can. Yeah. I mean, I'm like, you're like this too, but like, I'm so quick to offer help to anybody. Like I've helped so many people fucking move. Like I'm constantly like offering help like any way, shape, or form. Like I want to feel like involved. I want to feel like I'm making a difference. Yeah, you know.
I've kind of always lived by the kind of the mantra that if you put good in the world, good will come back.
I do believe in karma.
And I mean, sometimes you don't do things just you're not expecting anything in return.
No, I'm not
naturally.
No,
but like I really do try to like put my best foot forward. If someone needs something from me, I make sure I try to almost be extra about it. Yeah. Like I'm going to give you everything I can give you. Yeah. Within reason, obviously, right? Like, I mean, I'm not going to overextend myself to the point of like not being able to function myself, but like I'm going to give you enough that I'm going to put you in a position where I feel like you can succeed.
Yes.
And if I can do that for you, absolutely. I won't even blink. I'll give you the shirt off my back. Oh, yeah. But I mean, to be honest, I really wish the world would be that way to begin with. I mean, I feel like nowadays the world's very what's best for me, me. Like we're in a very selfish society nowadays. Yeah. We're to find people that are the same thought process as us. You know, we're trying to like just help everyone we can. And obviously we're not martyrs, right? Like we're not like I'm not gonna sit here and say we're the best people on the face of the earth because it's just a really stupid way to feel or think. Yeah. But like I like to think that I try to lead a life that, someone can look at my life and go like, oh, he's really trying to make the world around him better. Yeah. Whether it's with my own self or going to therapy, making my own mental ability better. And it helps everyone else around me because there's several points where I'm in my life where I was just a negative person, very hard to be around. And just constantly trying to better myself and everyone else around me. Yeah. I'm the same, bro. Like I have therapy tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, say Tuesday? No. Tomorrow's Monday. I have therapy Wednesday. Goodness. I'm all 6 and 7.
So yeah, same thing. Like I'm happy I started doing that. No, I'm open as hell about it. You know what I mean? And like same thing. Like I've definitely hit some low points where like I am very like negative and I do kind of shut in within myself. Mm-hmm. And like there's always little outlets, and like therapy is one of them. Therapy is like very, very important. Like I know a lot of people that do it, and like every like I'm never shy about it. I'm never like whatever about it. Like I'm very open. It's just like, I can't hang out this Monday. I got therapy. You know what I mean? Like I'm not even making excuses. I'm just like, no, I don't hide it in any way, shape, or form. It's like, no, I've been going to therapy for years. Yeah. And I think like everybody should at some point, if you're in that predicament, like any kind of predicament, any kind of situation, like if you're not feeling right, just make a call, reach out. You know what I mean? Like it is worth doing. It's 100% worth your time and your effort. Like, and even just vent to like that neutral person. Absolutely. Which ends up being, and me just venting for an hour to somebody who has no like interaction with my life. But it's nice just to get it out.
Bro, honestly, I can truthfully say like everyone I speak to on a regular basis, I tell them therapy. Yeah. Therapy. Yeah. Therapy. It helps. Like, it's so beneficial. Like, I feel like people are just generally terrified to... It's a hard process to start, right? Yeah. So you're talking to a stranger about random things about your life, and you have to open up and be honest. Yeah. It is weird at first. Yeah. Yeah. Like, when I went to therapy for the first time about 2.5-ish years ago now, like... It was during like a major like crisis in my life. Oh yeah. Like, and I felt like I could talk to, like, obviously I had you, I had, my wife, I had family and stuff, but it just didn't, like, it's hard to talk to some people like that.
It's not the same.
Because you feel like they're telling you what you, not necessarily would, even though it might be what you need to hear, you feel like it's not, like, they're telling what you want to hear.
Exactly.
Like, it doesn't feel like as genuine or clear.
They want to tell you what you want to hear because they're trying to just make you happy instead of addressing the issue.
Yeah.
Where, like, I like how sometimes my therapist will, like, challenge me on things. And you're like, well, she's like, well, is that the best way to think about it? I'm just like, no, I guess not. Like, you know what I mean?
Thanks.
Yeah, great. Now I got to be sad about this for next week. Like, yeah. So, no, you have to have that also, not just a person to vent to, but a person to kind of challenge and change your perspective, which is very important,
Yeah, like, there's definitely some therapy sessions I leave feeling super light, like I can float out of the building, and there's definitely some therapy sessions where I leave, like, I turn into Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh, like a little cloud, following you around, you know what I mean? But it's all for the necessary, it's all necessary evil for the greater good, right? So it's like, you go there to challenge your thinking, and to better yourself, to the best of your ability. Speaking of bettering yourself, you kind of alluded to something earlier that I kind of want to touch on, if you're okay with it. You obviously went through a major transformation. You said you lost 100 pounds. How do you feel about that now? Like, how do you feel about yourself as a person? Do you feel any major differences mentally? Do you feel like you're in a better space?
Better space, yes. But it is constantly playing on my mind, if that makes sense. So like being a bigger guy, as I was, still am.
You're skinnier than I am now.
Well, it's debatable. So I was big my whole life. I was a big kid. Like, I was big my whole life. Like, since way before you knew me. Like, I was always a big kid. I was like the biggest. I was like the biggest kid. Like, in school, in high school. Like, I'm pretty sure I was the biggest. Maybe the tallest, but still like the biggest. And so like there was definitely some kind of acceptance early on where I'm just like, oh, I'm just a big guy. And what really made me decide to make the change was just like the physical side of it, where like constant back pain, tired all the time, like was not sleeping right. Like, you remember telling me like I probably had sleep apnea because I was snoring like crazy, like fucking body's trying to kill myself. Like, and
body was like,
yeah, slowly choking. So no, it was more of a physical factor, the mental factor of actually making the change and getting the surgery. But going back on it now, like, I'm constantly thinking about food, and more than ever, because I'm super, like, I used to weigh myself like every day as well. I stopped that. I used to weigh myself every day. I was obsessed with the numbers, which is a terrible mindset. It's
very about the numbers. It's more about the mirror.
It's exactly where, like. But the thing is, so on the back of that, when I was big, before I lost the weight, and I was close to 300 pounds, I would, just kind of, like we talked about before, I was still putting an effort into how I wear, to how I dress, like to what I wear. Like, I was still putting in an effort. I was still trying to look as good as I could.
Yeah.
But then I also had those moments where, like, I put on clothes, I look really good, I feel good. Then I pass by a mirror, I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm not. It's like, I never felt as big as I really was.
Yeah.
Okay. And now that I've lost 110 pounds, or what have you.
That's insane, by the way.
Yeah. Fucking modern medicine. I look in the mirror now and I still feel like I'm gigantic.
Really?
Yeah, it plays on my mind way more than it used to, because I'm also very scared of like falling back into that and gaining weight back. Like, I've had nightmares of me being big again.
But I think that you do a good job taking care of it so much.
Yeah, it's been a year and a half, and I've like plateaued, and I've kept it off, and I've done well, and I've done a few 5Ks and whatever, which was a pipe dream back then. Like, not great times, but I still did like 5 of them. I also got one in December if you want to do it.
I might do it with you.
All right. So there's so nowadays it's just like I'm constantly thinking about what I'm putting in my body. And like, I have good days and I have bad days, and like there's some days where like I feel like I eat really well, eat really healthy, and I feel great, and then there's other days where like I'm a gluttonous piece of shit, and then I look at the scale and I didn't gain a single pound. So like, even though there's no physical like difference, mentally I'm just like, I'm fucking falling off the wagon again, and I'm about to slip back into this, and I'm about to, even if it's physically like basically possible for me to eat what I used to thanks to the surgery, I still like am so nervous of falling back into that. And I used to have like really bad habits. Like there are times I used to eat insane amounts of food. Like
yeah, I mean, I remember we used to be next to each other.
It's really funny. But there were times where like I used to order like disgusting amounts of food. Where like I get like I just got a lot of fast food, especially with work and stuff like that. And like there are times where I'm just like, bro, I used to get like bacon, egg, and cheese like four times a week, and then it would be like a big ass bacon, egg, and cheese. I throw a hash brown in there, and I'm just like chug it down with like some fucking crazy like a large sugary ass like Dunkin' Donuts drink, and like. And like I look back at it, I'm like, bro, I'm surprised that I lived to 32 in the first place. So I look back at it, I'm just like, okay, I'm nowhere near those levels, but I still have my moments where I'm just like, one little thing is gonna flip me back to eating like I used to, Yeah. So like I'm constantly thinking about what I'm eating, how much I'm eating. I used to count my calories. This was maybe like a year after surgery, so like maybe the summer. I only did it for a couple of weeks, but I used to count my calories on like a bunch of different apps where you can do it now. And it was like, all right, cool. Like you should be hitting, let's say 2,000 calories, 2,300, whatever it was, like based on like my height, weight, whatever. It was like, okay, you need to hit 2,300 calories. That's like your target for just maintenance or just whatever your daily intake. So then I get to the point where I'm like, oh, I only had 1,300 calories today. Oh, I guess I can go have 1,000 calories of something else. Yeah. You know what I mean? Where I'm just like, oh, look at all these calories I have to play with. So it's a very slippery slope where it's...
Yeah, because you could eat 1,000 calories of horrible things.
Exactly. And I'm just like, that is no wonder, like, this stuff just fucks with your head because it's just like, it's all numbers. You know what I mean? Yeah. And again, you can definitely have like a healthy 500 calorie meal versus an unhealthy 500 calorie meal. Like, there's levels to it. There absolutely is. And I stopped that because I'm just like, if I know I have like 1,000 calories to play with, I'm going to make it a point to have something with 1,000 calories because it's just like, oh, well, I have all space. I can eat like crap for the rest of the day, So I'm much better off physically and mentally. I am. Like, it is something I just feel better about just in general. Like fitting into clothes like I never thought I was able to wear before. And I even seen like, I'm wearing a large t-shirt and like I'm worn a large t-shirt since I was fucking 12. You know what I mean? Like it was, even back then I probably weren't like extra large. So yeah, it is a huge change. It is nice seeing these things, but the caveat is that I'm constantly overthinking about food and eating and all this. Like I still have a very like unhealthy relationship with it, where Thanksgiving last year was like 5 months after my surgery. And I fucking loaded up my plate like I didn't have surgery. I just couldn't eat it all. I was almost embarrassed. We went to England. I could barely finish a meal. And when you're looking at me, you're like, bro, you always look sad when you're done. Like, cause I'm just like, I feel like I wasted food. Yeah. Because I feel like I'm ordering like I used to, and then I can't finish everything. And then I'm just like embarrassed, like ashamed. I'm just like, I should have gotten half of this.
Yeah, I mean, it's something to be ashamed about, right? Like it's upsetting, I guess, to you. But even then, like that's like a nice problem to have. It's like what we talked about previously, right?
It is a nice problem.
You're always someone's goal.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like there's definitely people out there that are looking at you like man, I wish I can be there. Like say you lost 110 pounds. I'm hoping there's someone out here in the world that's gonna watch this and be like, damn, like it's possible.
We had a friend who got the surgery, and maybe like a year after she got it, I remember like looking at it like afterwards. I'm just like, fuck, like. That's like really inspiring. Like I kind of want to look into this. Like don't get me wrong. Like my brother-in-law did it like 8 years ago. And he lost like, an incredible amount of weight. Like he was complete like shadows for his former self. Like looks like the best decision he's ever made. And so I was always thinking about it. Yeah. But him being like older and that was such a long time ago, I was just like, oh no, like I'm only like at that time I was like 23, 24 when he got it done. So I'm like, oh, I'm too young for this, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then like everything started happening with like the back pain and the lack of breathing and all this. And like it just made like, everything would make it easier. Like I had the high blood pressure, which I don't have anymore and all this. And then, I see my friend get it done and, and her results afterwards, I went to her for like a lot of advice and talking to her about the whole experience, whatever. So like decided to take the plunge. And like,
Yeah.
no looking back, really. I mean,
Absolutely.
I'm still very nervous about falling back into that, but I'm thankfully in a much better mindset where like, I'd rather be aware of what I'm eating than just be careless about it.
Yeah.
You know, because otherwise it's just like, oh, like, just because I can't eat that much doesn't mean I still can't have like.
You can still enjoy yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I can still enjoy myself in moderation, which it forces that. But I'm still eating like protein bars, like for breakfast. I'm still having like a shake every now and then. Like I'm still like on top of it, but I'm also still constantly thinking about it.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, all right, this.
I think you'll get to a point eventually where it's not going to be so prevalent in your mind. I think it's going to become almost second nature.
The new normal.
Yeah, I think that you've lived this other side of it for so long that like now it's like you said, it's not. It's like abnormal to you.
Yeah, and I saw my sister for the first time since like the summer, a few days like last week, and she told me a comment. She was like, "Oh my god, you're disappearing." Like I haven't lost any weight since last time you saw me.
Yeah.
But because I was big forever, she had that kind of preconceived notion. It's like, oh, he's still like he used to be. Then it's just like a little bit. It takes like a second to be like, oh no, he's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
It just like catches people off guard. There's people I haven't seen in a while, like people I see every day, like you and my wife, obviously, and my coworkers. Just like, oh, whatever. But every now and then, I'm just like, I hear comments where I'm just like, oh, you look great. Like, how much you lose? Blah blah blah. I'm like, bro, I've been this weight since the beginning of the year. Like I've been the same. I also haven't been actively trying to lose weight. But every now and then, it's like a comments where it's like, I'm almost what I didn't hear that anymore.
Yeah,
it's nice to hear, especially in the beginning when like we're still losing it, whatever. But like when I'm here, I'm just like oh no, you've seen me before.
Yeah.
Like, why are you bringing it up again?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's such a grandiose change.
Oh no, it's huge. And like I've done it before. I've seen people lose weight. I'm just like, wow, you look great. Like blah blah blah. Congratulations. Like, what'd you do? You know what I mean? Like I'll talk to them about it, but like I'm not gonna keep kind of bringing it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because at that point, it's just like the first thing people see about me is the weight loss.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be that. I don't want to be the weight loss. Like I want to be me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't want that.
I think eventually I think most people get to that point eventually.
Yeah.
And you know what's gonna be crazy for you? You're gonna meet people now that never knew you. That's that big.
Yeah. That is very weird.
Someone's gonna tell them like, "Oh yeah, he lost 100 pounds," and they're gonna be like, "What?"
Somebody worked at that. 'Cause I have a Christmas photo of me, my wife, and one of the dogs, and apparently one of the custodians at work was just like, "Is that who the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
It's like, no, brother, that's me. Like that was me a few years ago.
Yeah. And that's pretty crazy. It's like it's honestly like I know that we've kind of delved into it a lot, but like it's very inspiring. Like like I said previously, I hope someone sees this and they go like, listen, like I can do it. I can take that first step forward.
Yeah.
Whether it's for something like this or even just to go to therapy, I really hope that like we can hopefully, if you can change one person's perception of something, right? Whether it's trying to get whether it's weight loss surgery, trying to lose some weight, trying to go to therapy, trying to better themselves in any way, to take that class that they always wanted to take, to go to a cooking class, to go to salsa lessons, go to Spanish class, whatever it is, whatever your heart desires, truthfully, I really hope that someone can see this and take that next step forward. Yeah. Because, like, take it from us personally, this podcast was a pipe dream for us. This podcast, how long have we been talking about doing something like this? Forever. Probably at least the last 10 years. Forever. Yeah. I mean... half of our friendship. Yeah. And I remember when we were thinking about making a FIFA channel. You know what I mean? Trying to be like Let's Play. Like YouTubers, like Let's Plays and live streams and stuff like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And, we tried it for a little bit and it just didn't really go the way we wanted. And we gave up. And it's... honestly, like, it's very rewarding and refreshing to be in this position now and just post about this stuff. Like, whether it's on TikTok, whether it's YouTube or whatever it is, like, just to have the confidence and the ability to be where we are right now is honestly very rewarding. Yeah, it is. It does feel good. And I'm hoping that, like, granted, obviously we're not like huge or anything, right? Like, we don't have like a ton of followers or anything like that, but it's nice to just be here. I hope that we can look back at this one video in particular, like down the line, and be like, oh no, we were onto something. Yeah. I can't wait to be at episode 100, 200, 300, and look back at these moments. Yeah. Like, and to be honest, I can't wait to. I really hope we get to the point where we're so far removed from this that we get to look at our first episode. Like the reason why we even took this first step forward.
It's a nice reflection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, and to be honest, this is like our first milestone.
Episode 5?
5.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a big deal.
Like, the fact that we even made it to 5 is pretty... Like, we could have gave up after 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, but we're also not at that point where, like, after all of our experiences, personal experiences building up to this, like, we're not in a place to give up. We don't give up that easily.
No.
We don't. And, like, it's...
Especially now.
Yeah.
10 years ago, maybe.
yeah, 10 years ago we did give up.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I feel very blessed, very fortunate to be where we are now.
Yeah, we are for sure. No, I feel the same, and it's just so fun. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy sitting here every now and then and just recording all these videos and having a great time. I love it.
Honestly, I was talking to my therapist about it. I was like, these are the most in-depth conversations we've had since like high school.
Since going through puberty and figuring out life and everything. Yeah.
Like I remember having conversations like on the swing in your backyard. So like,
oh my god.
Yeah, you remember those?
Oh my god.
Like, really
I thought we got rid of that before you were like a part of my life.
Mm-mm.
Oh, wow.
I remember having conversations back there, like on the furniture back there, the swing, like just having really deep conversations, and it's crazy to be where we are right now on a couch here in front of a camera. I mean, a very in-depth conversation.
I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, brother.
Absolutely not, bro.
All right. So that was episode 5.
Definitely a lot more serious than normal.
Much more serious, but sometimes these shows have to be.
Yeah.
Because we know it. Because we're not just comic book fans and anime fans. Like we are fucking real people with real life experiences and a lot of emotions and dreams and we are so much more than.
We're like all of you.
Exactly. Yeah, we're trying to we are connecting with people that we relate to. Mm-hmm. Just like people like that, like influenced us and stuff like that. So yeah, a little change of pace, but every episode is important.
Next time it'll be about anime, sports, and fun stuff. But until next time, peace.